All right, y'all. Let's see. This restaurant. Ugh. Hey, Black Widow Row. We said happy Mercury Day. Happy Mercury! Girl, my goddaughter and I are getting closer, and I'm so happy about it. She ignites my motherly instinct in me. Aww, I am so happy to hear that. Oh, wow. I feel like on an even deeper level, it's healing something, you know? Inside of her, inside of you, inside the bloodline. It's healing something. It's a quantum leap. It's a quantum leap. All right. What I'm gonna do a pick a card. I don't know if you here to casually watch, like if you vibing or if you in between work. But if you paying attention, I'm gonna do a pick a card. I'm over here thinking like what pick a card I gotta release. Cause y'all know I gotta give y'all some content. I'm gonna do a pick a card for y'all. Um, what do you need to know right now? I've actually been really feeling that. That's been my jam. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Just brought a Cadillac, throw some D's on that bitch. Hold on, let me see. Play this in. Just bought a Cadillac, throw some D's on that bitch. Do something to my hair. I think I'm gonna do box braids again. Boxy, boxy. He said, but I am learning a lot about her. And also my childhood too. I also see that motherhood wasn't meant to be the girl. No, it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes more than a mom and a dad. It takes a village. It takes a whole village of people. Women definitely need a village. Absolutely need a village. Like people need people, need people, need people. I mean, because if you think about it, like us as individuals, we need people. We need camaraderie. I mean, honestly, I think that even when people like bond online, like when you hear about a lot of like, you know, online communities or why people get looped into certain things like certain rhetorics or, crazy stuff, because people need people. People need people in any way, shape, or form that they can, find it. People need people. You say, yes, girl, I can see how you can get overstimulated. Yeah, kids are too much. As much as, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be a mom. I'm open to it. I'm open to at least one kid. I've said that. Now, a little bit further, if I was 27, at first, when I was 27, I was open to two, maybe three. But now at this big age, I get the one. The one happened, I'd be happy. But I'm not itching for it because there is a level of freedom, autonomy, carelessness that I get to have because I don't have to worry about anybody else but my cat. And my cat acts like a big baby. But also my cat is self-proficient for the most part. Like, I don't have to clean. I mean, I clean up after the cat, but I don't have to like, spoon feed it, put its food out. He eats it himself. I put out enough water for him. Like he has a water bowl. His water usually is there for like a few days because it's like a really large water bowl. Yeah, he goes outside, he comes back. He don't venture far. He just be like, So yeah, it definitely takes a lot to successfully raise a kid. So my hat goes off to people that have that type of knowledge because that's an expertise and patience. My hat goes off to people who have that certain knowledge and patience for real because baby, like I said, I'm still figuring out how to be an adult. Some days I still feel like a kid. You said people need people. I was open to 3 kids, but 2 is probably the most I'll even consider, and barely that. Cause damn, yeah, that's why I said like, if I do have children, if I have 2 at this point, it's because they 2, and I don't even know if I want to say this out loud, but at this point, it's because they were twins. Because child, the way my freedom set up, The way my freedom set up, I don't know. You said mothers deserve to be celebrated. Adulthood is fucking like it is, especially as millennials. Nothing is secure like it used to be. You said, girl, you preach it. No, exactly. I'm like, it's a lot. Like, I commend people who can raise other people. And then some of those people who raise other people be wanting to take in other people. I mean, it's gotta be in you. It's gotta be in you. And I feel like it's a level of expertise and genius. Like for those that are active parents, because you get some people that because they produce DNA, you know, they want to, oh, and it's like you want the daddy wasn't there. Sometimes mama wasn't there either. But those that are active parents, like actively giving up their life to rear somebody else into not being crazy or mentally ill, I mean, those are precious people. Those are precious people. And it's something that I don't have the capacity at this time to do myself. I have nothing but respect, nothing but respect. These are the people that make the world go around because it's their kids who are going to make, the proper decisions, on how this earth continues to spin. You said my goddaughter has inspired me to go hard. Yeah, I will say that. And I was actually talking to my cousin today, and I told her because I'm closest to her and my sister, and then my cousin's kids. And I was like, even though it's just me, I was like, she inspires me. My cousin and my cousin's kids inspire me a lot to keep going, to go hard, to show up, to keep fighting, you know, inspires me, because on my own, don't get me wrong, I'll be inspired, but like the pursuit of stuff just to have stuff doesn't inspire me, like being able to buy fancy things don't inspire me because I can be comfortable without it, like, and then two, what we consider luxury, like I can be comfortable without a name brand something, a name brand bag, as long as I have like, a comfortable, nice, well put version of something, right? So I'm like, the pursuit of stuff and labels doesn't inspire me, but being able to like, help out family in need, that inspires me. Being able to, have experiences, go out the country, experience life, that inspires me. Being able to, be an example that a positive example that people can like go towards like, oh, she's done it. That's why like, even with when you all be having your like, entrepreneurial, endeavors, like that inspires me because I'm like, I want somebody to be able to be like, you know what? I know it's possible. Look, like Wandering Sparrow, she has an entire, fortune telling business and she can make that happen. I know I can make Renum spoons, LOL. I've been watching Martin. I know I can make a Renum spoons happen. Like it's like one of those things where it's like I want to be an inspiration, a positive inspiration, not an inspiration like, ooh, you see what happened to her? Yeah, she doing crack. Don't be like her. I don't want to be that type of inspo. I want type of inspiration where it's like, they know that they can do it because they've seen it happen. They've seen it occur. You say yes to pursue the stuff to get stuff doesn't inspire me that much, girl. Yeah, that's what I say. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I'm not saying I don't like stuff. And I'm not saying I'm one of the people that's against stuff. I ain't, you can tell me all day, what your like plans are in terms of like what you want to get, what you want to. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you it's stupid. I just feel like, like if that's what makes you in your life, I'm all for it because I'm not gonna tell people what to do with their time, their money, and I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I just know for me, what makes me churn. Hey, Ladybug. You said how long will you be on? I will be here until 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm at work for next hour. So yeah, I'll be here. I'll be locking up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, y'all. The algorithm. Okay. Okay. I thought that okay, so YouTube got one of my videos. I'm gonna start truly updating my Patreon. YouTube got one of my videos. They age restricted. Should you create an OF? Do you have what it takes to be a P star? And get this. I even like blocked out the words, but it says this may not be appropriate for younger audiences. Our community guidelines, we placed the age restriction on it. Okay. And you want to know what's crazy? There's nothing in those videos that are like, so what I'm thinking is some videos might get taken down off the channel and put up on Patreon in the backlog simply because like the censorship here is crazy, crazy. Like even with the membership stuff, like so these lives are going to be available for up to a year. But because I'm cursing and like, because technically I'm not supposed to do any of that because I'm cursing and blah, 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 blah. Subjects, y'all, when I tell you it's so heavily policed at this point, and y'all know I don't even say much of nothing. My most controversial things is when I'm like, you know, I throw out the F-bombs a few times, you know, but things are so heavily policed. I don't want to risk the channel. I put too much work in the channel for them to tell me, hey, we're, you know, restricting you. Like the whole like Luigi Scangione situation. I have to say that real particular. Like my channel was, they were threatening my channel based on me doing readings about has he skipped the country? Nothing incited. Y'all already know. I'm not even going down that story anymore. So now I just got a video that's been restricted because of, you know, like, and it's fantasy lore. Like, could you make it as a P star? Like, it's fantasy. It's nothing about that damn reading that you actually see anything. So when things come down, it's because, you know, I'm trying to make sure the channel gets to stay around. Also, too, because even now, like, I have on a tank top. I'm a full tank top. Do y'all know I threw on this shirt? I threw on this shirt because I wanted to make sure YouTube wasn't going to get all weird and be like, I'm naked. Because they have said that. Clearly, when I've had spaghetti straps, you know, they've said I'm nude. So it's one of them things where it's like, whenever you're ready, Black Widow Roll. I get so nervous when it comes to the channel, like, because it's like things that you would think isn't, you know what I'm trying to say? Something that you would think like, okay, what do you need to safeguard against? It's a headache. But it's one of those headaches that I'm willing to continue to go through because by far, you know, I'm grateful to be on the platform, but at the same time. So when things shift around, it's because I'm trying to make sure that the channel stays around. So like that reading itself, I'm just going to take it off the channel. I'm just going to take it off the channel. You said I donated for a question. You could just do a general. Okay, you want a general reading? I'm going to be here chilling. Okay. When YouTube combined with Meta, the censorship went up. And then you want to know what's crazy? Meta is starting to allow things to fly because they want to be more like Twitter. You know, on Twitter, you can do child Twitter, you can do anything you want. Okay. You do anything, say anything, and it's exactly why I stay away from that. The moment Twitter went into that man's hands, that guy, that other guy, not the guy, but the other guy that got beat up by the guy, that guy. As soon as it went into his hands, I deleted it. And I had been on Twitter since 09, 08. Definitely 09. I went ahead and deleted it. I said, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. I'm not about to be, because I had noticed a change. It had started showing me a lot of fight content. All of my platforms, I purposefully stay away from ultra violent content. You know, like, I don't do that. I don't want to see nobody being impaled. I don't want to see nothing like crazy. I don't want to see no fight. I don't want to see none of that. And long story short, I started seeing that type of content, and I was like, all that other AGA, put the M in front of it. I was like, that's next. I'm going to be seeing against my will AGA content and other like things like, you know. So I was like, I ain't about to be dealing with this. So I went ahead and deleted it. I was like, F that. He don't need me. I'm one person. I'm one person off Twitter. Give me 2 seconds, Black with a Road. I'll be right back. I just got to throw this away. You got me feeling like I owe you something. And you that time I had nothing. Let you do it all alone. With the shady things you do. Oh gosh. When it rains, it pours. Also, y'all, look, we got message cards coming up soon. I have index cards that I just bought, and I have this nice little box. It's an index card box that I'm going to put them in. So, we got messages. Because you were there when times when I had nothing. All right, let's get some general messages for Black with a Row. But you threw it all away. With the shady things you do. Y'all, I'm about to get a cat collar camera. Hey, Beyond Universe. I'm going to get a camera to put around my cat because I'm curious to know what he be up to. He, you know, I'm going to be on his little escapade. I want to know what he be doing with his life. So I'm going to invade his privacy. LOL. Oh, and I've been seeing other people TikTok saying the same thing I was saying about Usher turning hypersexual, saying he don't have to do that. He a king. Like, once again, I know Usher, I know he freaky, you know. And I know that man done touched men before. That man, he is not approved. But it's a difference. Like, you could be freaky, but not everybody, you know, it's like had a class behind it. He was a classy man. Be classy, Usher. We know you're not shy. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. Let's get into it. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. Thank you for channel messages. Spirit guides and ancestors. Look at your name up here, Black Girl. All right, spirit guides and ancestors, give me general messages for Black Girl. What does she need to know? All right, we got the High Priestess in the upright. High Priestess, spiritual connection, high alignment. That's your energy right now. That's what I feel like is really coming through for you, Black Girl. You're in high alignment right now. Which it said that, especially this summer, like, you'll feel yourself shifting. You'll feel yourself, leveling up even more. And no, there's not a ceiling or a stopper to level up. Level up just essentially is evolution. It's evolution. You can level up and you level onward if you level forward. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors, tell me more. Give me general messages for Black Widow. We have the Magician card in the reverse. Interesting. Give me general messages. Okay. We got the Eight of Wands in the upright with the Emperor upright. Okay. I'm hearing a message in regards to your goddaughter. Now, the Magician card it talks about manipulation. Now, you're not manipulating your goddaughter, and your goddaughter isn't manipulating you. But essentially, Spirit is saying that, I feel like when it comes to the Magician in the reverse, it can be a forced energy. That's what makes it manipulation. It's a forced energy. And Spirit is essentially nudging you and telling you, you don't have to force, not saying that you are, but this is the message. You don't have to force or contrive anything when it comes to your goddaughter. What's winning her over is this Emperor energy. You're consistent. You're consistent. You show up as what you portray yourself as. And then you're presenting yourself as the Emperor energy. The Emperor, is very regal energy. Unlike Usher, it's a very classy energy. LOL. It's a class act, You're presenting yourself. This is what's winning your goddaughter over. That's what I'm getting with that one. So if there's anything, or if there's any thoughts where it's like you felt like you weren't doing enough, or you need to do more, to show her, to prove, she's getting everything she's getting off of you through observation and how you're carrying yourself, which is like the Emperor. That's how your energy is presented. It's disciplined, it's in order, it's put together. She's saying that, and that's what's shaping her. You and your daughter, your granddaughter's, I say granddaughter, I'm sorry, you and your goddaughter's connection is going a distance with the Eight of Wands. She's definitely, she sees you as a staple in her life. She sees you as a staple in her life. It's one of those things where she's like, I'm hearing, what is it? Aaliyah, at your best. At your best. You are love. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. Oh yeah, she's not going back. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. You've quantum leaped with your goddaughter. You've quantum leaped with her. And it's not. I do want to say this. I didn't feel her energy. I don't feel her energy going down a bad path. Like it wouldn't have went down a weird path without you, but it would have went down a complacent one. It would have went down a very like typical is not the word I'm looking for, but one that not typical. What's the word I'm looking for? Not traditional, but basically it's like she's not destitute, but it's not exciting. It's nothing raw about it, It's like if it was a traditional is not the word I want to say, but she was going down a typical traditional kind of, she was filling the shoes of those before her, It's like if her mom, and this is, no, nothing against her mom, but let's say if her mom, like, she went off to school, got a job, owns a house, life is routine. It would have been a routine life, universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. But you all's connection is definitely going the distance, and she's getting the most out of you through observation, because you're showing up. Who you say you are is what you've been portraying. You're showing up authentically. Spirit guides and ancestors, tell me more. Tell me more. Give me general messages for Black Widow. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So you have, oh, look, star card at the bottom of the deck. You're shining right now. You're in alignment with everything that you want. You're attracting in good fortune, but this is also one of my karma cards. You've settled karmic debt. Like your the things that are occurring for you now, or anything that even presents itself as a challenge, it's because it's advancing you, not because it's trying to teach you. You're out of, you're out of the realm of lessons, like there's no lessons here. Hello, Jackie. And not to say that, life will always give us lessons, but you get what I'm trying to say. You're not in the midst of, learning something because of something else. Somebody's not in your life currently because, well, we needed to teach you. Like, there's no big monetary something. Well, you needed to learn. No. You're in a pretty stable state when it comes to abundance, when it comes to what you want. Even if you feel like, at times like, oh my gosh, like, am I still doing it? What's going on? Like, you're on the clear path at this point. Things are going up for you. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't get no more clear than literally the star and the upright at the bottom of the deck, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So you're doing what you're supposed to, even down to the fact of you getting closer to your goddaughter. This is all by design, and you are in perfect alignment of what it is that you are looking to manifest. You said, I'm Jackie J and Cuties. Hi, Jackie. So these are paid personal readings. Oh, you can't see my little what you call it. These are paid personal readings. It's $15 US per reading. And where am I at? Where am I at? Now you can always vibe. You don't have to buy a reading in order to be on the live. You can always vibe out. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all couldn't see my QR codes. The payment options are in the description, but like I said, there's no pressure. You can always just vibe out because, yeah, I turned my DNA. This feels like a reset. You say you feel this feels a second chance. You said, also, girl, remember I told you this feels like a second chance. I feel like you did say that, Black with a Row. Like it feels like a second chance. And here's the thing, what I feel in your energy is you've always had, now I'm not saying like, like if it feels like a second chance for you, I'm not taking that away from you. But I feel like what you are accomplishing now, it's always been there. It's like it's always been there. But you had influences. You had things, you had influences. That's what I feel in the energy. There were influences and there was mental things that you had to get through. That was the karmic energy that you were settling for years. There's a lot of, mental ideologies. Let me see, y'all can't see nothing but the top of my head. There's a lot of mental ideologies, pathologies of like family stuff. That's what you were working through because it's like physically, like there was nothing blocking you. Like it was always meant for you to have. You said, girl, back in 2013 to 2027, it was rough as fuck for me. And I had a lot of lessons to learn. I feel like I am a different person and I'm getting all the chances back. Absolutely. And I always say this, when something's for you, I mean, we could take a detour, but we will always be led back to that road. I'm getting all the chances back. Girl, yes, girl. It has always been there. I had influences and mental things I had to get through for sure. You're right, girl. I had to really work through a lot. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, life is a journey. You'll still have challenges that come along the way, but the challenges don't have to be, the challenges are different, You know what I'm saying? Like the challenges don't have to be these detrimental things where you're breaking family curses. It doesn't have to be that type of challenge. And essentially, challenge is not a bad thing. Challenge is just the evidence that you're alive. Challenges are good things. Challenges help us grow. You said we met at the beginning of that journey. I mean, honestly, it's been very wonderful to see you grow. Like I've had a true privilege of seeing you and other people that I've gotten a chance to read for to truly grow on the journeys that they want to go on, into the people they want to be, really tackle that, really, like I said, it's an inspiration. It's an inspiration. It honestly inspires me to keep going too, because it's like, it reminds me, like, oh goodness, taking off these shoes. It reminds me that, like, yeah, like, things take time, but consistency is what gets you, to the win. You said, but I finally fully believe fully with no doubt I can accomplish what exactly, because it's always been there for you. It's always been in you. Like, nobody can take that away. And that's the other thing. Like, it's like, and I always say, I use biblical examples because, like, I have a lot of people that, have touched some type of spirituality or traditional religion. But like for Christianity, if you remember, like in the Bible, the devil can only tempt you. The devil can't take anything from you, can only tempt you. So when we get into these spaces where we feel like we're beneath, or we're less than, or we can't have, that's only the devil tempting you. I can only get into your head. I can only make you believe that you less than, so you can fulfill that prophecy. Because I can't, mm-mm. And what's for you is for you. Only way you don't get what's for you is when you don't move on to that next level. You don't realize it. That's it. But what's for you, 'tis for you. Y'all, I had to do some serious cleaning out that fridge. Ugh. I'm just gonna get a new one. You said, mhm. He said, "Yep, I always felt like there was deeply more in me, and I have always been lucky." Absolutely, but I finally believe without a doubt. Thank you, Sparrow. You are so welcome. All right. Well, I got two of y'all here. Um, let's get a reading out the way. Let's get a reading out the way. I'm gonna drop another pick a card. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna pick a random pick a card. I'm just gonna pick a random pick a card. Let's see. Pick a number between 1 through 4, and just pick whatever number I pick, I'm just going to release that reading because that's what be slowing me up. I just be so like, ugh. Okay, let's see. Green is going to be 1. Hello. You say if strawberries. Hello, strawberries. Green 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How about no? Making this too difficult. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, which reading should I release? Who gave you all the luxury? All right, reader number 1. Y'all almost forgot what I assigned it. All right, let me see what reading I'm releasing today. Spirit said go with number 1. Let's see what we're releasing today. I'll catch a grenade for you. Ooh, okay. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but will you two reconcile? All right, let's see if AI is going to honor this. All right, it did it. And we have a thumbnail, and I'm not about to get all extra about it. Extra. Read all about it. Read all about it. I'm looking for that one love. Who's gonna do me right? Okay, let's get into it. Read all. Y'all, I really enjoy Gemini. Okay, hold on. Almost done, y'all. Hello, hello. Greetings, dropping. Hello, Ghost. How are you? I was gonna say happy Monday, LOL. It is not Monday. Happy Wednesday. All right, make sure you like, comment, share. And if you like the spicy reads, go Universe or your mind with the Patreon. All the information is in the pin comment below as well as the description box below. Without further ado, let's get into action number one. Right, 145. Y'all know I'm trying to give y'all readings, but sometimes I get so caught up, I forget to go into my readings. And then the conversation below, two. Option number 550, 145, 550, 145, 550, 145. No more than 4 weeks out. And, it's like, think of it like. All right, Ghost, whenever you're ready. Hey, Lauren. And this person's going to be putting it. Ghost, whenever you're ready, drop me your questions. There's nobody in line. Yeah. There's nobody in, well, you're in line now, but yeah, so there's nobody in front of you. And then to all my pick a card lovers, will you two reconcile? That's what's dropping in 5 minutes. Let's move on to our third option. Okay, 1208. 145. Let me see. 145. 550, 1208. All right, ghost, here I come. 0145, 550, and then 1208. Yay, I did it. Okay. And now we gotta pick a card. Bam. Just upload it. Okay. I can exhale now. All right. So let me put your name up here, Ghost. Real goods get down on the floor. On the floor. Okay. What was me crying for 2 years about? Prom, karma from my parents, for probably karma from my parents for forcing me to go to prom, or is there more to come? Or let's see. Spirit guides and ancestors, thank you for sharing messages. Spirit guides and ancestors, Ghost. Why was Ghost crying for 2 years straight? What was going on? Was it karma for being forced to go to prom? We have the Page of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords in the reverse, it's kind of like the energy of feeling unseen, because Page of Swords, you're peering into something, It's like, I'm watching you, it's a watching energy. I'm watching you. That watching can be observation. It can be, I'm watching you, I'm clocking you, sinister. But it's essentially an energy that talks about being seen. Page of Swords in the reverse, you were feeling unseen during that time frame. That's what I'm getting with that one. So I would say, yeah, it loops into being forced to go to the prom because one, you were being forced. If I'm forcing you to do something, I'm totally disregarding what you feel in the matter. I'm totally disregarding. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you don't want to go to the prom. I don't care how you feel about something. If I don't care about your feelings behind something, I'm not seeing you, and I'm not trying to see you. I'm not trying to understand what something feels like for you. You said it was me crying for 2 years, karma for my parents forcing me to go to prom, or was it something else? So yeah. So I will say it wasn't karma for your parents forcing you to go to prom, but stuff like that is looped into it because a part of your crying, it has to do with inner pain. It has to do with, expression of that inner pain that essentially you weren't able to express out loud. Even if you told your parent, I don't want to do that, but if I'm bypassing how you felt about it, I'm not seeing you. So it's your feelings of being unseen that was coming up in those tears. Give me more. Why was those crying for 2 years? We got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. We got the Page of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. So yeah, in addition to not being seen, we have the Queen of Cups, which talks about, now the Queen of Cups, both the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, they're nurturing energies. But the Queen of Cups, she's nurturing emotions. You said, why is my mom so against me being non-binary? Because you don't fit the narrative of what she envisioned her family to be. That's what that is. You don't fit that. And for some reason, your mom feels like that means something about her versus you. So instead of realizing that, my child is non-binary and hey, that just is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. It's just like how the sun is just a thing, the sun is out, well, we hope the sun is out, but the sun exists. That's just what it is. Instead of just accepting you just being you, she's made your gender expression a part of what it means for her to have been a parent and what that could possibly mean. She's turned your gender expression into a problem that does not exist, because for you, you're just existing. For her, it's, what did I do wrong to have my child, think such things, be such things? Like, granted, we're not talking about, like, you didn't, you're not fascinated with serial killers. You didn't become, a murderer. Now maybe at that point, something like that were to happen, God forbid, well, we ain't gonna say if that had been the case, then yeah, she could make it about herself. Like what happened that my kid now wants to, go around unalive, right? But it's like making a mountain out of a molehill when it comes to you being non-binary. And once again, instead of making it about you, because you're the individual living in this existence, living as non-binary, she's made it about her and what it looks like for her to have a non-binary child, what it looks like for her to, how people are going to feel about her being a parent of a non-binary child, adult. That's what that is. That's the energy. And essentially it's come up in the Queen of Cups. You're lacking emotional care, emotional nurturing, because the emotional state has been pushed on to the persons who are doing the victimizing, as opposed to the person who's in the place of victim. And by no means are you a victim, like I don't want to, like, oh, to denote like, like the strength that you have. But in this situation, you would be the vulnerable, party. And instead of allowing you to be in that vulnerable space, it's making that vulnerability about her. You said, sorry, ignore that one. A commercial popped up on TV as you were explaining it. I feel like a victim. Yeah. Well, yeah, because like you're in the place of, like, yeah, you are in a position of victim. You are in a position of vulnerability, But the reason why it's like it's not translated is because in none of this situation, in none of the position, you've been like, how like when people do stuff, when stuff happens to people, it's like, well, what did you do to cause that to happen to you? And you're like, what do you mean? What did I do to cause it to happen? I was existing, and then people decided to do some random ish. Like, what do you mean? That's kind of what's happened with your mom. She's made your life about her, if that makes sense. And the reason why you're not getting the Queen of Cups out of her is because essentially, she's once again taken how you are expressing your life, living your life to what suits best for you, as what did I do wrong? Because you're not fitting into the picture that she contrived, that she thought of, that she thought that she'd have when she had her family, So that's what that is. But at the same time, like I tell clients of mine, it's not up to you to manage the expectations of other people. So if you being you is causing pain for somebody else, I know it takes a little bit more processing to be like, F you, whatever, get out of my face. But F you, whatever, get out of my face. Because how is me being me, living my life, more difficult for you? You don't have to bleed the blood that I'm bleeding. Like, what do you mean? So that's what that is. Essentially, she's upset because you're not fitting into her picture. So the tears that you're shedding, a part of that, you're not getting the motherly care that you should get, because the moment you stop fitting into the picture that she wanted you to fit in, and not to make your parents the bad guys, not saying that, and I'm not telling you not to love your mom, but this is a part of why you were crying. You felt unseen. You felt dismissed. You went without nurture. So in a lot of aspects, you were on your own. You went feeling disliked by others. And at the end of the day, disliked for what? Like that's a huge thing to have people to have adversity come towards you for simply you expressing out loud who you are, as opposed to if you were doing something crazy. Like I said, it's not like, oh my gosh, I found out that my child, was a murderer. You know what I'm trying to say? Now that's something of shame. Like that one, I would be like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? But it's almost like being brainwashed. You're being told that you're wrong for doing, nothing at all, for being normal. And that's the part where it's like, it feels like, what the hell is this and why? Because essentially too, I'll say now, I don't know your mom or your family to say like, for sure, are they narcissists? But it's narcissistic energy. It's narcissistic behavior. It's definitely egotistical when we're making other people's lives and what's going on with them about ourselves. That's narcissistic energy. So, and once again, somebody that's a victim to narcissistic energy or vulnerable to narcissistic energy, you're going without nurture, you're doing without care, you're going without being seen. And that's why you were crying for 2 years, because it feels like, what I'm feeling in your energy is like, like I'm here. I want to be like, take me into account. Why are you ignoring me? Like, it's like you're there. People are seeing you, but they're seeing through you. You said that makes sense. So I think I should tell my mom that my life is not. It's not about her. It's not. It is not. It absolutely is not. Like, and I tell people this all the time. I've even told my own dad this. I'm like, nobody asked you to bring me here. And I've said this to be more trolling to him, but it's the truth though. You didn't ask to come here. Like, are we happy that you're here? Absolutely. Will you have a good time now that you're here? Absolutely. Because nobody asked to bring me here. So we can only have a good time. And like I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but ain't nobody about to be hurting on me either. But if I'm here, we can only be healthy, happy, and abundant. That's it. But no, it's not about her. You're her kid, whether you're adult of 20 something or adult of 79, beyond. You didn't ask to be brought here. So it's not your responsibility to make her look good or anybody else, to make your parents look good. It was their responsibility to make sure that you grew up to be okay and wasn't losing your mind. It's not the other way around. So, but a lot of people feel like that expectation of, like, I brought you into this world. You should be grateful. Every time I used to hear that, even as a kid, I'm like, but who asked you to bring me into this world? No, you should be grateful. I'm choosing to do the right thing. You should be grateful. My interest is to go to school, hang out with friends, come home on time. You should be grateful that the baddest thing I wanted to do was sneak out the house to go to the beach. You should be grateful. I've never had to say that to my parents, but I've heard parents say that. And I'm like, be grateful for what? You didn't have to. Why nobody hold no guns to your head saying, bust a nut in your mama right now and have a kid? Why nobody doing that? So yeah, absolutely. It's not about her. It's about you. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors, give me one more. Why was Ghost crying for 2 years? Give me one more. LOL, I'm outraged. It's not bust a nut, child. Give me one more. Why was Ghost for 2 years? Ace of Pentacles in the upright. You were searching for safety. Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Three of Wands talks about, your ships being on the horizon. It's like what I feel for you is an energy of feeling like you were close, but yet so far away. It's like you could have what you want, or it's like, it's like, I got my mom there. She has the ability to be the parent that I wanted to be, but she didn't always show up in that way, or this is what I want. It's like things were always within reach, and maybe it felt like one more reminder of rejection. That's what I'm getting with that one. But your tears were about safety. That's what that is. So was something karmic looped into it? Like, were you also shedding tears because you were forced to the prom? Yes. But you were also you were shedding tears for other, situations too. It was more looped into it, It was, but it had a lot to do with feeling unseen, dismissed, just kind of like, okay, whatever, yeah. Oh, what? Non-binary, yeah. You'll grow out of it, dismissive, that type of energy. That's why your spirit and your soul, that's why you were shedding tears, because it's like, well, what is this? Who is this? Why is this? And then too, taking in the fact that, maybe not having the words for it, but knowing that, okay, why am I being told that I'm something wrong with me and I'm wrong and I'm this and I'm that, when I'm doing everything that people want me to do. I'm doing what I need to do. My life is not falling apart. I can take care of myself. My grades are up. I got a job, whatever it is that makes you, function, right? You were falling in line with that, but it still wasn't enough. And the reason why it wasn't enough is because it was never about you. It was about what you represented for somebody else and you falling short of their ideal. You never fell short of what you were supposed to be. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. But what you didn't realize is, but your spirit realized it, is that there were other constraints on you. There were other roles assigned to you that you never agreed to. So the reason why you were getting this backlash and people trying to force things and control things is because they never told you what their terms and conditions were for you being there. You thinking like, oh, okay, well, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm not doing what I need to do. Okay, we good, right? We good. Meanwhile, the people around you were like, no, 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 no. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to da da da. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you, it's about me. I want everybody to see that I have a perfect child. I want people to see that, look at my kid, look what they did. You didn't fit into that. And that, honestly, look, let me tell you. I tell people, don't tempt me with a good time. Don't let me see that you dislike something because I'm going to be the most of that, okay? I'm going to be the most of what somebody telling me that I can't do. Because how dare you tell me I can't do it with my 24 hours? You ain't telling me what to do. I got to live this existence, okay? What you need to be happy is that I ain't crazy, that I don't want to schmurder. And I don't even like killing bugs. Like I got to the point where I start trapping the bug that I see and releasing it into the wild. That's crazy. Like even for me, I'm just like, who is this person? Get out of here. If you don't squash that down, it's spider. But no, I've been releasing spider because I've come to the realization that everybody got a soul. Everything got a soul. But yeah, I would tell her, I'm not here for you. Whenever you're ready, goes dropping your second question. But yeah, but that's me. Because, and I don't know if it's an Aquarius thing or what, but don't tempt me with a good time. Because what you're not about to do is tell me what I'm not about to do and who I'm not about to. You're not about to tell me who I'm not. Okay? Child. But see, don't listen to me because I be out here starting fights, okay? Righteous fights though, not just because. Righteous fights. You said, let me think. You said, hey, I paid. I'll be. Ah, okay, Bill. All right, Bill. I'll be here for 30 more minutes, you all. Mm-mm-mm. No, 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 no. You're not about to tell me who I am and what I'm about to do. I'm going to tell you. You said, am I safe from Eric? Ooh, let's get into this. Am I safe from Eric? He is a dangerous individual I stopped being friends with. Okay, let's see. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors, thank you for channel messages. Spirit guides and ancestors of Ghost. Is Ghost safe from Eric Spirit? Give me two cards. Is Ghost safe from Eric? Give me two cards. We have the Ace of Staff in the upright. Ace of Staff, passion, anger. Could be movement. Could talk about running. Is Ghost safe from Eric Spirit? Ooh. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Ace of Wands gives me like the energy of like, spirit, like spirit is a fire, or spirit is often represented as fire. You have protection. You absolutely have protection. You're being protected by your spirit guides, by your ancestor, by your higher self, by your divine. Spirit is protecting you. That's what that is. Queen of Coins in the upright, which is, again, is a very protective energy. The Queen of Pentacles, she's a very protective energy. So once again, spirit is protecting you. Your guides are protecting you. Your ancestors are protecting you. And it's almost like your energy is being cloaked from Eric. Like it's giving the energy of like misconnection. Like I'm missing you, like not missing you as in like I'm missing you. Hey, I need to call. But like, like, hey, yeah, they were just here an hour ago. You missed them, like if you're out and about, you all don't run into each other. It's like you're passersby, and that's by design. You know, that's by design. It's not like, like, I won't go to, I mean, yeah, like if you know where Eric works and it's a, highly populated place that you normally frequent, you can choose a different one. I'm back. Belle, you are right after Ghost. So type me your question whenever you're ready. We ready to go with you. But yeah, Spirit is protecting. You're very protected from Eric. So much so that I don't feel you running into them anytime soon, or if ever. This is one of those energies where if you exist on social media, you'd have to look him up in order to find him. Spirit guides and ancestors. Give me one more just to solidify. Is Ghost safe? Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Strength card in the upright. Yes. Lover's card. You are very safe. Look, you're being close. Y'all not gonna run into each other. Like you would have to get this. And I don't get that. I'm not feeling a strong online presence for you. But basically, the reason why online is coming up is because Spirit is showing me the principle of you would literally have to search you hard in order to find you. And even finding you online doesn't mean I'm going to like run into you, touch you. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it feels like the type of account that you have, if you have an account, it's like it's not pictures of you, it's not what you're doing. It may be like, when people have like accounts, it's like, yeah, I got a TikTok account, but the TikTok account is more so you can have access to TikTok. Maybe you'll see some repost. Maybe you'll see a picture of a basket of fruit and a cat. Just something random. Something that ain't telling you nothing from nothing, right? That's what your online presence. It feels very unbothered. Like you just living your life. Like, look, I'm here because I want to be able to scroll. So here's my account. It's a picture of a Christmas tree stocking, like something like that. Eric, however, once again, even with him, like, but I don't feel your energy looking him up. But the only way that you'd have contact is if you searched for it. Basically, that's what Spirit is showing me. So, oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's what I got for you, Ghost. Yeah, you are protected, and most definitely, don't let nobody make you feel like it's something wrong with you because it's not. It's absolutely not, and you were not placed here. I know this is controversial, but you were not placed here for somebody else. And while, we hold gratitude for being granted onto this realm, but uh-uh. Like I said, and I said this, and I love my dad. Don't get me wrong, I love my father, but I told him straight up, this was years back. But I told him straight up into his face because I believe being upfront. I told him I was like, I was not brought here to live my good years to help you through your years after you didn't got to do all you wanted to do in your lifetime. You got to jag off. You got to, get into what you wanted to get into. You got into having to recover from what you got into. And now I'm supposed to take my good years. All my years gonna be good, by the way. Be 70, and it's gonna be some great ass years, 80 good years. But you hear what I'm trying to say, right? You gonna take my youth, and I'm supposed to take that boy back. And ever since I told my dad that 6 years ago, that man has been the healthiest he has ever been. Because I told him straight up, I was like, if you play with me, I'm gonna play harder. I'm gonna lock you away into that nursing home, and because I got power of attorney, I would deny people visiting you. Don't play with me. We both gonna be miserable. Do not do this, because I don't want to be that person. I've been working my whole life to be a better person. Don't make me. And because I said that to him, to this day, I'm gonna tell you right now, that man that man is healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because you let people know I'm not here for you. Did nobody ask you to create me? Thank you. Now carry on. Especially when you weren't there. Like I had a father figure. I was very close to my uncle who raised me like a daughter, my mom's brother, but yeah, no, you not just because you show up in the pictures. Nah, I remember. Okay. I was a whole adult by the time we got close again. I was out of college, baby. He did come to my college graduation, but I'm like, I didn't made it to the promised land by the time you were ready to be a dad. So nah, we not about to do that. because you want to take a couple of pictures for the gram. No. Anyway, but no, me and him are good. We've had, over a decade and a half of a cohesive father-daughter relationship. So I'm not mad at him. But at the same time, sometimes you got to tell people, just because you created me don't mean nothing. It just means that you created me. Just was whoever doing the picking up there said, hey, we're going to choose that person and that person. You're going to come through them. That's what that was. But you're not about to take my life. No, I was not born to be a slave. Get out of here. A slave to nobody, a slave to no master. This is the reason why God knew not to make me born anywhere before the proclamation. Okay? Because it just wasn't going to happen. I was going to go neck Tisha Turner like it wasn't going to happen. Child. Anyway, Belle, let me get to your reading. But yeah, let people know, you ain't on this earth you on this earth to thrive, be happy, be abundant, put good things into the universe. That's it. You said, I hate when commercials interrupt. Yeah, YouTube doing a whole bajillions of things, y'all. I do apologize on behalf of the platform. And you weren't here, Ghost, earlier when I said I had just got a video restriction. So AI is going through all of the catalog, and not just mine, everybody. And I have close to 2,000 reads over here. So it always cracks me up when something from years ago is flagged by YouTube. So basically YouTube is doing what they do. I'm still trying to be spicy, still trying to crack my jokes, but I can only go so far because they be tripping. You said, I hate when commercials. Honestly, I hope he gets over to me, because now he's starting to text her ass one of my other friends. My friend helped me block him. Yeah. You say, yeah, he is scary. Yeah. Let Eric a Christian proverb from the Bible. Resist the devil and he shall flee. Resist Eric and he shall. Basically what that means is whatever you ignore eventually goes away. I mean, within reason, because some people will take that to heart. But essentially what it means is if something's coming for you, if you don't pay it attention, it'll stop, because it's well, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you anything to go off of. You said, I sent an email letting them know how I am and what I need a long time. Okay. So let's see. Let's get into it, Bill. Let's get into it. And then I think I'm going to have enough time after Bill's reading, y'all, to do a pick a card. What do you need to know right now? So Bill, you'll be my last person, since I got to wrap this up at 3 p.m. You'll be my last question, but I will be back this evening because, oh my God, y'all, I don't have to wake up early tomorrow, so we can vibe out tonight. But let's get into it. Do I need to be concerned about any drama at my aunt and uncle's where I'm staying, as it pertains to drama with my mom and any of their expectations of me aside from paying them? Let's see. You said nothing against the mentally ill, but I gotta keep myself safe. No, you do gotta get that, girl. Look, go. You absolute that right there. You have to keep yourself safe. That right there. And let me tell you, I come from a long line of mental illness. That's why I tell you that I gotta separate. Yes. And me working in mental health, I'm gonna tell you this. There's levels to it. People are more cognitive than they let on. There's levels to it. Yes, that. You have to keep yourself safe. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was going crazy, by all means, don't go crazy because of me. No. If anything, go live your best life. Go live, travel, eat new foods, try new things. Spin in a circle just because. Be happy in spite of, okay? Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. And I tell y'all all the time, as much as I have love for my family and I want to see them survive and thrive and all of that, but when I realized that certain relatives of mine were choosing not to be better, I said, I have got to get off this ride or I'm going to be out of my mind just like them. And I be good goddamn. I'm not going crazy. You said, can you please use non-binary? Absolutely, Ghost. I do apologize for that. Now, when I say girl, it's in my expression, like literally, like. But I do respect that. But I don't want you to think that I called you girl. Like it's like a, like when I use child, like when I be like child, like I know I'm not talking to children. When I use girl, it's just yeah. But at the same time, I don't want you to think that I'm calling you girl, and I do respect that as a person, as a mental health professional. I have non-binary clients, I have transgender clients. So I don't want you to ever think that that's one of those things. But I do hold the space of knowing that, okay. But I don't want you to think, yeah, when I say girl, because like literally, I have gay friends where when we talk and I'm like, girl, and these are men. These are thug life men. These are, baby, I'm not about to be playing with you on the street type men. But at the same time, because I want you to understand, it is a safe space because it's important to me. So no, I don't want you to think. And then two, I know how trauma works, and with everything that you've been through, and I'm very grateful that you've trusted me with your readings and that you've opened up to me. With everything that you've been through, I already know, like hearing something like that, it's like, ugh, what you trying to do, and it can feel like an attack. So no, by all means. And that's for anybody that's here. If at any point you feel like you need to, say like, hey, blah, 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 I'm always open to what's going to make you comfortable. Because just like what I said, Ghost, this is your life. I want you to walk in the triumph of that. So no. So I do apologize if you think that I directed it in that way. And I will say, knowing that you are non-binary and knowing that the trauma that's held prior to that, that's not an expression that the same way when I tell people don't call me bitch. Like I know it's a term of endearment, but I tell people like, because bitch gonna get us fighting because I don't like that one. So no, I absolutely respect that. And thank you for saying it because, like I said, I meant no harm for it, but I don't want you to. That's not my lot in life. I ain't taking nobody back to no dark places, baby. That's not what I do. So yeah, but let's get on to it, Bill. But I want to say this, Ghost. I want to say this exactly how you just told me. I want you to continue to stand up for yourself like that. Exactly how you told me. And I know it's probably because but da da da. No, exactly how you told me. Stand up for yourself like that. That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. And it was simple as, hey, could you use non-binary terms? Stand up for yourself like that. And I'm telling you right now, anybody that got something to say to you about it, you got to understand it's one, that's your key to let you know that they never had intentions on respecting you and were always going to do what they was going to do. You said, don't worry. It's just that I know people do mean things. No. That's why I said no. That's why I say it's perfectly fine because you're right. People do mean things. You're right. I want y'all to know that that's not, no. That's not me. That's not how I've gotten blessed in this life. I don't even want that type of smoke, okay? And on top of that, I ain't got time for y'all to be doing no exposés on me on YouTube. I ain't got the time. Y'all know it's always some type of YouTuber that be popping up out of nowhere. You be like, what? I thought they were so cool. Like, hell, half the YouTubers that I've liked from way back when pop up doing crazy stuff. No. That's why I said no. We can always have a conversation. We can always talk. No. I am not offended. No. I am here to cheer people on. I want you to live a beautiful life. But I know exactly what you mean. And I've been one of those people who've been on the receiving end of somebody doing some undercover stuff. So if you've ever felt uncomfortable, I'd rather you tell me and I correct the behavior than you hold it in, or me doing some weird something and you like, yo, no, never be afraid to check. Nope. But anyway, Bill, let me get back into, because y'all know I can also talk a lot too. Especially like I said, I'm forever telling y'all like, hell, what you not gonna do? Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. Let me get into it, Bill, because I do got to get out of here, folks. But small tangent, y'all check out the pick a card I just dropped. Hype it up. I'm trying to unleash what I got in my back catalog. So, but I need to get to recording some new stuff too. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's see. All right. Do I need to be concerned about any drama for my aunt and uncle where I'm staying as it pertains to drama with my mom? Okay, let's see. Universe, spirit guides, and such as it will. Is there any drama that she's gonna incur, that's gonna occur for her while staying with her aunt and uncle as it pertains to her mom? All right, we got the Two of Cups in the upright. Don't worry, that don't say drama yet. We got the Two of Cups in the upright. Two of Cups talks about contracts. It talks about agreements. Let's see where we're going with this. Universe, spirit guides, and ancestors. Contracts and agreements, but it feels like this contract and agreement is on your side. Like I'm honoring the contract, you know? I'm honoring my tenant. I'm honoring the person that's giving me money. I'm honoring the person that's giving me money. That's the one I would honor. Child, universe, spirit guides, and ancestors, tell me more. Spirit guides and ancestors, will there be any drama as it pertains to Bill's mom? Empress reverse, no. No. Let's get one more. I mean, I'm going to tell you what you can expect. Two of Pentacles. They're honoring their contracts. I mean, even if it's not like an actual signed contract, they're honoring you because you're the person that's spending money. You said, glad I offered to pay. See, it's a contract. Now, I will say this. It does add protection for you because, you know, like if I'm getting something from it, even if I'm willing to give it to you for free. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that you come across, every family member, you know, you got to do something and whatever. It's not always like that, but I feel like, I know for me though, because I do this with family and friends, the family and friends, because I am still close to some, I have relatives that I'm still very close to. And I have good friends, right? And even if I know like a friend would do me a favor, you know, for free, I still like to offer, you know, if I have to, you know, like, yeah, there's times where like I've had people show up for me and I'm like, oh, I don't have it, you know, but I've always liked to either repay the action or I'm going to follow up and, you know, if I have it to give, I'm going to give because it also adds a layer of protection, you know, like if somebody knows that they're getting something for their time, their generosity, XYZ, ABC, if they know that they're getting something for it, then they're less apt to, you know, let anything come in to ruin it. So what you're buying isn't, you know, just, you know, you're not just getting a place with your aunt and uncle. You're buying some peace because if they were already going to help you out and they weren't expecting rent and you telling them, well, I'm going to pay you rent. They not about to mess that up, okay? You said sometimes when someone helps you, it comes exactly that too. You taking off any other strings because you already got the strings there. You looking like, okay, I'm paying for this space. That's your strings. The strings is the pay. That's the strings right there. That go the strings, all the strings. I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not about to blast music after 10 p.m. You know, I'm not about to come, you know, I'm not going to wake up in the morning screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm not going to be a nuance of any sort. Here's the money. That's it. Them the strings. You said if I ignored them and wasn't paying them, they may have a lack. Exactly that. Exactly that. So by you paying them, you're letting them know, treat me like a tenant. Yes, I'm family, but treat me like a tenant. Give me the same privacy you would give a tenant. Because with somebody living there for free, we opening doors. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the privacy, though you're still entitled to privacy, I'm not saying you wouldn't be, but that's not how people react when there's nothing in there. When they feel like, oh, I'm giving you, I could just, but by you paying rent, you're telling them, I mean, I know we related. I love you, but calm that down. I don't approach people before 7 a.m. That's one. If you see me out in the wild, you don't see me. I'm AI. I don't know if y'all saw that clip of Future. I'm AI. You said, did my email help? Let's see, did your email help? You said, so no drama. No, no drama from your mom. Your mom may have comments, but they're not, it's not, they're not letting it mess up nothing. You said like expectations aside from normal rent. No, like, I mean, their expectations, what I'm getting in the energy is you have to be a cleanly tenant, like anything, like any type of apartment that you rent, building that you rent, you have to be a cleanly tenant, like can't punch holes in the wall. But is it a situation where it's like, okay, like clean up after yourself? That's the expectation I get here. But is it a situation where you have to, you know what I'm trying to say? Like you gotta be something or somebody. It don't have to get weird. You know what I'm saying? Like it's normal expectations. Like don't destroy anything, clean up after yourself, you know. And even not to the point that we're gonna be in your room, just nothing in your room should impact the rest of the household, Like you probably can't live in, not saying you do live in squalor, but you probably couldn't live in squalor, that might impact the rest of the household when Tom and Jerry wanna go beyond the walls, or get attracted to the house because of that. But other than that, nah, you don't have anything like outside of like normal renter expectation. You said I can mold into their retired routine. I'm a busy young professional. Haha. You said I really like to self-isolate and to be be alone 24/7. Living alone is what I really want. Yeah. They're definitely going to respect those boundaries. Let's see. Spirit guides and ancestors of Bill. Did her email explain her boundaries well? Did her email explain her boundaries? Do they understand? Will they respect it? We have the death card in the upright. Death card talks about transformation. So essentially what that card is saying is they know that they have to make the compromise. So that's really good. Spirit guides and ancestors did her email land well. They know that they have to make the compromise. All right. Yeah, Four of Cups reverse. Four of Cups reverse tells me it was not on their radar, essentially. Like they weren't thinking from that aspect, but they're not pushing back against it. They're not going like, what? You don't want us to talk to what? They're not doing that. They're not doing that. They understand it. In fact, I feel like it's a good thing that there is such an age gap because they really understand it. Because what I just heard in my mind was like, oh, she's young. Like they think it like, she's a kid, she's young. I mean, even though you're an adult, but to much older people, you're like a baby. But oh, she's young, that's what it's giving. They understand. You need your privacy, you got your life. But I do think that it was a good move offering money. The fact that you're offering money, they're going to see you as their niece who's a tenant and not their niece who's freeloading. Because their niece who's freeloading would probably get a different type of interaction, because not saying that they would be cruel to you, but the niece that's freeloading, so to speak, would get the interaction of like, oh, you should be grateful we're doing this for you. As opposed to the niece that's paying rent, it's like, oh, okay. Well, let us know if we can get you anything, That's what it's like. You said, I'm an easy tenant. I'll leave you alone and want to be alone, LOL. It's important to communicate things from the get. Absolutely. That. That's why I feel like this entire live has been a therapeutic workshop. That right there. Say it off the bat. Because it's easier, I feel like it's easier and you're more apt to have what you want by just saying it off the beginning. And like I said, there's nothing to be, same thing I told Ghost. If somebody is getting offended by something you're saying that you need for you in order for you to survive and be okay and be comfortable, then that person never had good intentions, period. That's what that is. Never had good intentions. Because why would it matter? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, why would it matter for me not to bother you? Why would I need to bother you? Why does it matter for me to do that one little thing that causes no harm to nobody else? It's because I never had good intentions. That's what that means. You said I'm a kid. LOLGs. Yeah. Yeah, they are a different generation. Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Exactly. I'd be expected to be involved and cater to them 20. Yeah, if you weren't paying, it would be a different expectation on it. But the fact that you added some money, it's a nice buffer. The fact that you added some money on there, now you are being seen as our niece, who's our tenant, as opposed to this person that that's living off of us and we feeding them. Mm-mm. Even if you eating food that they offer, guess what? You paying for part of that food now. Now I don't know what part of their money they using to get the food, but either way, you paying for part of the food. That's how I see it. But anyway, y'all, thank you for coming up in here. I have to skedaddle, but I will be back. My intention is this evening to absolutely get the reading out like I want to. I don't have to get up early in the morning, so I could be on late. So I hope I got some energy, chill. So far, so good. I had coffee earlier. So far, so good. But yeah, I don't have to get up early, so then I'm looking forward to that. You said my mom was invasive and not respecting this, which is honestly terrible. Once again, and when I say this about y'all parents, I don't want y'all to think that, love your family. There's nothing wrong. I'd rather people get along with their family than not get along with their family. And even when I be like, oh, family member, I ain't taking this, don't get me wrong, I love them. And it's to the point that I have a big family. I would love to have been close to a lot more of my family members. It's just that I'm not going to play them reindeer games with people and go out of my mind. I'm not doing it. But like I said, I'm all for people changing, getting to better spaces and stuff like that. I want, if it was up to me, families would get along and not, So don't think I'm saying that. But at the same time, based on what you said and the reality of it all, your mom was overstepping boundaries. You paid for that space and you're her adult child. Your mom was overstepping boundaries. And it wasn't okay. That's it. It wasn't okay. Now, from what the cards have said, and my hope is that this separation does, cause more closeness between you and your mom, that is able to heal things. But you absolutely need this because by trying to stay, it's only stunting your growth and you deserve to thrive. Like I said, you didn't ask nobody to bring you up in here. So now all you can do is be the best person you can be. That's it. But you can't take on other people's stress. Can't do it. But anyway, y'all, you said family be toxic. Yeah, that's what I said. And I hate that. I hate that honestly, more often than not, there's more people with dysfunctional, toxic family systems. Then it's I don't know. It's something to be studied. But anyway, I'll get into it on a different time. See you later. Yes, Lynn. I gotta get out of here. I have to get out of here, and I'm over here over talking. Okay. So yeah. Y'all, I'm over here fighting with people in the comments. So wait, before I go, because this is hilarious to me. I usually don't talk back to trolls. But y'all know, so I love this guy's content. Aaron, y'all know who? Okay, so Aaron, the news guy. Hold on, what's his name? Because I love his content. And this man be so stressed out, but he doing the Lord's work. He gonna get blessed. He is blessed. Aaron Parnas, y'all know Aaron. Hold on, can I show you? Can you see him? Y'all know Aaron. So real quick, so SpaceX, one of the rockets from SpaceX has crashed into the moon. And so it created a big crater and a piece of the rocket is still stuck on the moon. They polluting our moon. Okay. What's next? The sun? Anyway, so I put a comment cracking a joke like, oh my gosh, now the light in the moon is gonna go out. And then I was like, this is why God don't let us touch the rest of space because humans are stupid and destructive because we are. And I'm putting myself, am I not a human being? We got a lot more issues that's going on that we don't need to be. Now we're trying to drain the earth of water through AI. And I'm included in that because I do use AI, you know? So I'm not saying I'm not a part of the problem. But long story short, people are taking it so literal. I usually don't get people commenting on my stupid comments, but it's like people commenting on my stupid comments. And I'm just like, what is this? So I've been trolling people back through the comments. Anyway, let me get out of here. I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back. Y'all take care, and I'll see you a little bit later today. Check out the picture. TTYL.